Hello you plonkers and welcome back today to another video on the Drewzy channel. AFL Round 6 has been wrapped up like Christmas, but it was the Anzac round. Different celebrations for different occasions, lest we forget and all that. But let's remember how good this round of footy was. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Dockers had a big win, which we'll speak about. And then the Anzac Day games were great to watch. It was a great round. Before we get into the video, I just want to thank everyone who has been watching my videos lately. The views have been up, which tells me that there's new people watching my videos. But still, 50% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. If you can click that red button, it's absolutely free. Just tap the red button and you'll get notified when my videos come out. Also follow me on my Instagram @_Drewzy to be notified when I do drop videos. It helps out more than you know. Anyhow, let's get into the 9 things that I learned from round 6. Number 1. The Leon Cameron era will end without a flag. The first game of the round was GWS versus St Kilda, and I changed my tip last minute to GWS because I just thought they've got to respond at some point, and if it's going to be any time, it's going to be now at home. They've been on a road trip, pretty tough. Come home, you're a good side. You should have the quality to beat the Saints, although they are in good form. But the game plan of GWS is just not great. The players, all they know how to do is kick it long into big packs and hope that their ruckmans take it. I didn't see any handball receives trying to break down the lines, anything like that, any counter-attacking play. It was all real slow, which gave St Kilda time to set up behind the ball, and it was just long kicks. It wasn't fun to watch at all. Obviously, this is Leon Cameron's last year on his contract, and he's going to finish his career at GWS this season, I reckon, and it's obviously going to be without a flag because GWS have no spark at the moment. No good for Leon. Number 2. The grand final loss may have scarred the Doggies. All credit to Adelaide, obviously. They competed for 4 quarters and they deserved to win. But there's been these sides that have had almost like a grand final hangover when they don't win it. I'm thinking of GWS, Adelaide, maybe not Geelong, but now it's the Doggies. They haven't reached the heights that they were playing at in 2021. I'm not sure if it was just because they're playing at Ballarat, but a lot of times this season, I've been watching the Doggies and they'll just bomb it in long, which a lot of teams seem to be doing at the moment, and they're hoping for Norton to just take a clunk when the ball's coming from 60 metres out and it's flying through the air. Norton's a good mark, but that's just not an effective way to set up your forward craft, I believe. The only decent win was against Sydney, but with the quality on this Bulldogs list, they're just not living up to the expectations at the moment. 2-4 after 6 rounds. Terrible start to the season for the Dogs. Number 3. West Coast look like they've never played with each other. Fixture that they've never lost before. They come up to play a side who hasn't won a game this season, and they went down by 86 points. The Eagles are the worst team in the competition at the moment, bar none, and they sit at the bottom of the ladder. They look like a bunch of Oz kickers playing West Coast, and obviously they've got the skill, they've got the quality, but what I mean by that is they're so disjointed. There's no flow in their play, there's no pattern to their ball movement. You see with good sides, the players know where to kick the next ball to because they expect their teammates to be running onto it, but there's none of that at West Coast. They're scrapping for every single disposal. Lots of disposals aren't clean. They've got most of their good players back in now. We're far past the point of saying COVID excuses, blah, blah, blah. West Coast are stinking it up. They just look so disjointed. Team continuity is absolutely dreadful. Number 4. Fremantle are better than Carlton. This is a very basic statement to make after one team beats another, but for years I have believed that Fremantle are a superior team to Carlton, and on Saturday night the Dockers proved that. Last year when we played Carlton at the MCG, we had more clearances, more inside 50s, more scoring shots. We dominated possession of the game, but we just couldn't put the ball through the 2 big sticks. Sam Walsh iced the game with about 2 minutes left. And people just forget about those games. They're like, oh yeah, sick, Carlton won. They got off the chain there. But I've been saying it for so long. Fremantle just haven't showed up in the big games. But this season, they have been. Big few wins. Our wins are getting better week on week. It was unfortunate that Pitney went down in the first quarter because I would have liked to see the best 22 against the best 22. Carlton and Freo styles are very different. Carlton love the stoppage. They like to set up their structure and then explode out, and they did at times. They won the centre clearance against the Dockers, but our defence was impenetrable. Brennan Cox had one of the best games I've seen him play in a long time. Very underrated player, Brennan Cox. Luke Ryan, he's an All-Australian. He's had a great season as well, and he was solid down back. Riff Lowe come into the side and did a good job as well. Didn't have Hayden Young, didn't have Heath Chapman, who have been our two best drivers off defence to attack transition. We showed up for 4 quarters, and Carlton didn't, and we've seen that trend from Carlton this season. The last 12 quarters that the Dockers have played, I have had no issues with. We've been playing real good footy for 4 quarters, competitive, consistent stuff. The Dockers are second on the ladder, and we bloody deserve it. We are better than Carlton. Number 5. Tyson Stengle has been good as. After stints at the Crows and at Richmond, Tyson Stengle was out of the AFL system. He had some disciplinary issues, but Geelong threw him a lifeline and he's taken it with both hands. He's kicked 10 goals in 6 games this season, and he just brings that Indigenous flair. You just need that X factor, that zip, that agility, just the overall skill that these boys have. And obviously, Eddie Betts is at Geelong as well. So Tyson Stengle is down there learning from the best, and he's playing some real good footy at the moment. They got him for next to nothing. He's been a great pickup for the Cats. Number 6. Zac Bailey is one of the most impactful players in the comp. 6 goals, and he was best on ground against Gold Coast. Every time he touches the ball, I just feel like something good is going to happen. His agility and his spatial awareness makes him so hard to tackle, and he just outsmarts defenders just from little shimmies here and there, selling the candy, likes a spin here and there. He always just finds himself open inside 50 because his footy IQ is so high. He's obviously going to be learning heaps from the likes of Lachie Neale and Zorko's, 2 elite players in the competition. Still very young, but I reckon Zac Bailey will one day be a top 5 player in the competition. He is bananas. Number 7. Ed Langdon is an All-Australian lock. Ed Langdon is getting the credit he deserves. I was massive on him when he was at Freo many moons ago. He left to go to Melbourne, and I knew that they were getting an A-grade winger on their list. He runs more than 16 kilometres a game, and he does that every week. He doesn't go on the interchange bench. He plays the entire game. When you're doing that in a sport like Australian football, where it's so physical, there's tackling, running, kicking, stop-start, he just doesn't stop. He's almost superhuman, Ed Langdon. He's always back in defence to help. He builds up the play from defence with his run to link it up to the forward line, and he pops up for a goal just about every week as well. 2-way running, he's effective at both ends. He had 30 disposals and a goal against Richmond. He is the modern-day winger, epitomised Ed Langdon. If he doesn't get All-Australian this year, that is the biggest robbery I've seen since the great heist of 1964. Number 8. Hawks couldn't stop the Swans' surge. Hawthorn come out firing against the Swans today, and I thought, man, I'm going to get my tip wrong again. My tipping has been terrible, but it just took the Swans a while to wake up. Hawthorn peaked real early, and once the Swans got going, their stars started to shine. Buddy Franklin had 3 goals for, I believe. He was real dangerous up forward. Heaney had a great game. Callum Mills had the best game of his career, and Luke Parker chopped up as well. So obviously, the Swans have more star power than Hawthorn. They're still a very young side, Hawthorn, and the experience of the Swans just overwhelmed them, I would say, in the end. And Hawthorn couldn't do much to stop it, which is pretty surprising given the good games that Hawthorn had, like last week against Geelong. They've got Melbourne this week. That'll be good to see how they bounce back, because they usually do bounce back, the Hawks. But against the Swans, they couldn't stop the surge. And number 9, the Pies are dangerous. The Anzac Day game was great, lived up to the hype. The Bombers responded after that terrible loss last week against my boys, and Collingwood, after a loss against the Lions, got the dub. The Pies have responded so well to last season. To finish right near the bottom and have a failed project under a legend of the club in Nathan Buckley, to get a new coach and then be expected to fail, to play the way that the Pies have played this year so far, it's taken everyone by surprise. I love the way they play. When the ball is in their half, they love the chaos. They don't like to slow it down. They'll put pressure on the opposition when the ball is at ground level. You got these guys like Ginnivan, who kicked 5 goals, got the Anzac Day medal, played less than 10 games, he's already chopping up. Obviously, De Goey, he's back in good form. The Dacos brothers are dangerous. And Brody Mychek, one of my favourite players to watch in the competition, he is potent and he's just like a Jack Gunston type player. Just Mr. Reliable Brody Myercheck. Very impressed with how he's been going this season. The Pies are going to be a very tough matchup for any side in the competition. I think Freo have them in about 3 or 4 weeks, so that's going to be a good test for the Dockers and Collingwood to see where they're at. But the Pies, man, they are dangerous. They're looking good. They could definitely finish in the top 8 this year. So that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you enjoyed the 9 things that we learnt from round 6. Let me know down in the comments below what you learnt from this round. Thanks for the support as of recent. If you want to continue the support and you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. If you liked the video and you're already subscribed, just click that thumbs up button. Helps out in the algorithm. I appreciate it very much. Go follow my Instagram @_Drewzy. Click the notification bell. Do all these things and let's grow this platform. I appreciate you all. Take care, you plonkers.